3, 2, 1, and we are here. What's going on, beautiful, beautiful world? It's your boy Hollywood. Blessings to everybody. Again, thank you for coming through. If you are here, more people will come through, but I just want to start the conversation, man, because I got a lot to talk about with this man right here. Before we start, you know, I just hit up the social media sites that I got up there. You know, I don't ask for anything to do what I do. I just want to spread knowledge, and as I'm spreading knowledge, I'm learning stuff all the time. So I feel like, you know, it's a you know, a symbiotic circle here, man. You know, as I'm learning, you're learning. So I just want to put a platform up to do that. And as you know, you gotta, you know, follow and spread the word for it to grow, so everybody can learn as well. This brother right here, I don't think really needs no introduction, but I think I'm gonna let him introduce himself just just in case you don't know.
Yeah, what's good, everyone? This Shimmykami here, aka CeroBlast. I'm here with Hwoodtv. What's good, everyone?
What's going on, man? So, man, I've been wanting to have you on here for a while, man, because I'm a part of the community as well. So, yeah, you know, there's a lot of things, you know. But first, I want to say, you know, you're doing some good work, man, and we're gonna talk about your work in a second, man. But
yeah,
we definitely gotta talk about your work in a second. But oh man, let's start from the humble beginnings, man. Before we even start, well, like you know, like your family and stuff. Or about you.
You want so family background and family and all that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so we start from when I was born, man. All right, so it's a rough childhood. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna bring the rundown right now. Funny thing is, I have two separate families. Yeah, my mom is, you know, she was married to my not married, but you know, they had my mom and my biological father. You know, they had me when she was 18.
Oh wow!
And this was when they were in Singapore, I believe. It was in Singapore. Yeah. My mom was in an abusive relationship between her and the biological father. Biological father was a drug dealer at the time. You know, he was making mad bread. This man was making mad bread back in the days.
Yeah.
And you know, that's how it was. It was hustling. I respect it. You know, if you can do it, you can do it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there's not a lot of people that were born hustlers, you know.
There's risk to it. You know, you can die the next day, and shit happens like that, right? So, you know, props to dad. You know, when my dad brought her over to Canada, you know, to live in a better economy, because back then it was really hard to be in that situation.
Right.
So dad brings mom over here. We're in Canada, so technically I was born in Canada, so I am a Canadian. At the time, my dad's family side, her sisters, mom, aunts, etc. Because sometimes drug dealers, you know, they tend to be very unstable mentally and physically. This was the case. My biological father was mentally unstable. He was conditioned with bipolar disorder. And you know, it happens. You know, if you to be a drug dealer, you got to test the drugs, right? So eventually you can get addicted to it. So he got addicted to it eventually. This man was smoking like 2 packs a day. Shit was crazy.
Right.
So hold on.
You remember all of it? Like, you remember this, or this is like you were told this?
I was told this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, damn, you got a vivid memory.
No, I was told this. I was literally a baby back in the day.
Okay,
I had no idea what's going on. But my mom would be telling me all this stuff, right? So yeah, she would tell me that, you know, the sisters would come in and help me out and, you know, take care of me while she goes out and look for work, right? Because back in the day she couldn't do that. She had no license, she had no visa to work. Like, it was rough for her, right? It was hard for her. Like, my mom is so to this day my mom is so strong. It's crazy. It shocks me how far she came from that time to this. And every time I think about it, I just cry. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's if I could just say it, understand how she made it through that, it'll help me get through life.
Because you know, that type of strength not everybody's born with. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? And it's much easier to understand because she had me as a child, and you know, her whole world revolved around me. She worked her ass off for me, and that's crazy. You know, some of the people out there, they need to understand that if you have parents or you have a family member that that's been there for you since day one, my nigga, since day one, since you were born, you gotta appreciate that. You gotta look back from the past to understand, how hard your family member was trying to take care of you.
Take care of you, yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta, when you get older, you should try and give back to them.
Right. Oh yeah. Appreciate that. Because without, you can never. I always tell kids, there's never anything that you're ever gonna be able to do to pay back your mom because she had you. You can't. There's nothing like that. There's nothing.
You holding that L till the rest of your life.
There's never. So and then on top of that, what she showed you was to show you the strength and the possibilities of what a human being is capable of. Not even just a woman. Not even just the fact that, remember, she went through labor. Now you gotta just to do. It's you gotta have a lot of respect for mom. Man.
A lot of props. But yeah, back on topic. Yeah, so she was struggling, trying to like take care of me and shit. And biological father still doing his own thing. He was actually hospitalized at this point. He was unstable to take care of me. So it was just mom by himself. They broke up a while bit after. This was at the time when I was like around between the age of 3 to 6. And then fast forwarding a couple of years later, when I was like around 7 to 9, my mom actually met another person, another brother, another man. And at the time when she was taking care of me, and the family, my dad's family side was taking care of me, one of the sisters was able to offer some housing for my mom while she was looking for work, and just taking care of me.
When you say when you say sisters, you mean like her sister or like just a friend, like a sister?
No. The biological father side. He has 4 sisters, so he has his own separate family, and he was taking care. One of the sisters stepped in and they took care of us.
Wow, okay,
well,
cool.
They specifically took care of me and took care of her,
right.
Because they felt like they were responsible for actions of my father, right? Yeah. Okay. So while in the meantime,
a lot of other families on the other side don't usually step up like that. It would be like the mother side of the family would usually kind of sometimes they. Whatever, that's not our problem, so wow, that's big.
Yeah, absolutely. That's if it wasn't for them, I honestly wouldn't be here today. I honestly would not be here today. My mom probably wouldn't even be here today. So that's highly respectable.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, one of my aunt, she housed me when I was a kid, when I was a baby, and she at the time had a boyfriend, and the boyfriend was also helping me take care of me and take care of my mom. Help her find a job and stuff like that. She eventually started finding work, and then somewhere along the lines, the aunt's boyfriend, they broke up or something. I don't know what happened in that. But shit happens, and aunt's boyfriend, eventually started dating my mom.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. So the aunt just literally moved out. She pieced it. She didn't want to stay. She didn't want around that anymore. What shit happens, right?
Yeah.
So boyfriend now is
it's like step pops now.
It's step pops now. He stepped out. He took care of me, and you know what? Like till this very day, like this man is he has a crazy ass heart. Like this man is so supportive. He's so open minded. I could never find a different. I would never think that he's not actually my real father.
Right, yeah, that's your dad.
That's your dad. Yeah, this man has molded me to grow and learn about the values of life and everything, and he's taught me a lot. So I really appreciate
that.
Him.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So they was dating for a bit, and then eventually things started to get more serious.
Yeah.
And then he started taking care of me. This was actually around the time when I was around 8 to 10, and I started remembering stuff.
Right.
And then when I was able to start remembering stuff, I would remember that my dad was like really serious of me being good in school. Well, he was actually really laid back and just really chill. Like he would just be like, you know what, if you just try your best in school, you don't gotta worry about too much. But on the other hand, where your mom was like so serious, my mom was so serious about me taking school, and
serious,
if I was ever like misbehaving in school or just getting trouble in school.
Ass whooping time.
Like ass whooping time. Like she would smack the shit out of me. She would get so mad. Like one time, like when I came back home from school, because I got in trouble. I spat in the kid's face.
Oh wow.
Yeah. This is back in like grade 3 or 4. And my mom got so mad. I already knew it was coming. She was walking me back home. I was like, damn. She's holding my hand really tight. I was like, it's coming. The moment she opened the door when we got in the house, she threw my backpack all the way to the dining table, and it cracked the vase, the flower vase. Right. And I was like, I started crying. Yeah, I just started crying. I just started crying, and then I ran into my room. Like I sonic speeded into my room. I didn't want to say nothing. And but yeah, I was actually really scarred in wanting to really focus on doing well in school.
Wait, so that you think that was the turning point of you saying like, oh shit, I can't do this like type of stuff again. I gotta.
Yeah, that was kind of a turning point for me to kind of step it up. You know what? Let me start.
Stop playing these games.
Let me start taking school a bit serious. Right. Yeah, and you know, fast forwarding, I finished elementary school. My grades weren't that good. To be honest, I was never the type of kid who would really do well in school, because you know, school is not for everyone. Yeah. You know, school. The only thing school does is teaches you disobedience. It teaches you obedience. It teaches you how to, you know, be responsible. It also teaches you how to be. It's literally a place to social gather and create connections. That's about it.
That's true.
At the end of the day, it's just a piece of paper when you go to college or university. It straight up is. It is. The stuff you be learning in those classes, you can learn it online.
Yeah,
it's just you're not,
especially nowadays. Yeah. That's what especially nowadays. Everything's on the internet.
Whereas it's just you're not getting that. It's not a degree that says, hey, you're certified to do this. Right. Unless you prove that you have that working experience. But after I finished elementary school, we went to high school. We moved out to a different apartment. At the time, I was still with my stepdad and my mom. At this time, just on a quick background on my ethnicity, I am Canadian. Canadian is not an ethnicity, but I was born Canadian. I am Chinese. Yeah, I'm Chinese and Vietnamese, and I speak Chinese, Cantonese, not Mandarin.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I understand a little bit of Mandarin. I also understand a little bit of Vietnamese, but I can't speak those languages. I probably intend on learning those eventually, but for now, because I'm so fluent in Cantonese, it's because of my mom, right? So, as far now, I'm just gonna pause right here. We're gonna just go back to my other family side real quick. For my dad.
Well, first before, we just want to make sure everybody knows the CeroBlast right here. We're talking about his growing, his childhood, man. How do you get where he is? And it's already interesting, man.
Listen, my childhood was like OD. It was just crazy.
Man. So go ahead. So we're gonna go. We step into now your mom's side of the family now, right?
Yeah. Now we still on the biological father side of the family.
Okay.
Yeah. So I already explained like what happened between when I was a baby till grade 7. Yeah. So bouncing back to my biological father's side, this man was hospitalized, but he would be able to step out of the hospital, you know, a couple weeks here and there, and you know, he would ask me if I can visit him sometime.
Oh wow.
And you know, I tried to, but my mom doesn't like me visiting him because my mom to this very day, my mom still hates him. Like she has a grudge against him. It's crazy. She always holds grudges, so you know, I understand that. And at this point, she was placed on childcare support, and it is his responsibility to pay on a monthly basis. Yeah. Where was it? Yeah? So yeah, he was hospitalized, but then he eventually got better. So he started taking, but he was on a lot of medication, right? It got so bad at one point. I remember it got so bad at one point. He had an episode. And he tried when we were in the house. I stepped into a washroom and he was taking a shower. This man looked like he was possessed by the devil or something. He jumped out of the shower and like he literally tried to like grab me and like started like punch me and shit. And like and then luckily I think my aunt stepped into the washroom because she heard me screaming, and my dad just pushed me down the stairs. and I was all right. I didn't fell all the way downstairs.
Oh, okay,
I almost did though. So yeah, I was fine, but I was hurt. So I think my grandma was, the whole family was there. Like there was a family dinner for my father.
What age was this?
Oh, this was when I was like around between 8 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So
your mom was already with your stepfather now. That was already solidified.
Yeah, that was already solidified.
Okay, so he was just coming to visit out of one of his days from the hospital, and he was just chilling.
Oh yeah. Oh, he had his own house. He had his own. We were chilling at his mom's house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your grandmother.
The grandmother.
Right.
We were chilling at the house. We had a family dinner.
Okay.
And all that shit went down. So there was he had an episode, and this is not his first episode. He always has these.
Right.
Like, it's random, just like how people DP randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So your man.
To it.
Yeah. So your man just tried to like go ham on me, and then grandma was like, you got to step out. We're gonna have one of the aunts just drive you back to your mom.
Okay.
I was like, okay. And then it's it was rough, man. Like the childhood, like I didn't have that much friends. It was hard to make.
Real quick, I don't want to. So at this point though, is your mother cool with your father's side of the family? Because you said you went over there to go. So she let you go
she's not.
So she totally was just like, you could go. And
no, she does not associate with my father's side of the family at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's even though they try to help her a lot, she still doesn't want to, like, she doesn't want any trouble. She doesn't want any drama, and I understand that.
Yeah,
right?
I can understand.
Just backtracking a little bit here. Back before when they were when my stepfather was together with my mom, when my mom was still together with him, I was actually put in foster care for a couple months. So because my mom wasn't able to support me and my dad wasn't able to support me, so I was in foster care for like, I would say like 3-4 months. I remember I would turn on the television in this random family house, and I would be watching like Saturday night shows, like Power Rangers or whatever.
Right.
And then when I would sleep, I would sleep in a baby bed. I don't remember what that word is called, but I would sleep in a baby's bed. Something like that? Yeah, I don't remember the name, but I would sleep in a baby's bed, and then that process would have repeated. Just wake up, eat, shower,
watch TV, get
homeschool, watch TV, whatever, and then that process just kept up for like a couple months, or I don't even remember, but I remember and I was so young. I still remember to this very day, I can vividly imagine it. After the first couple months passed by, my foster parent, one of the foster parents, I think it was the dad, he was like, hey, I have a surprise for you. He's like, okay, yeah, what's up? Oh, well, I'll tell you, get in the car. And then because I've been talking about how I miss my mom so much, when I'm going to see my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, and at this time, I think she was in contact with her social media worker, and she was helping her out and set her up with everything and all that stuff. So she gets in contact. So foster dad was like, hey, get in the car, blah blah. It drives me downtown. Downtown is from this place here to downtown is about half an hour away.
Okay.
Right. So he drives me to downtown. And then he drops me off at a bus stop, which is kind of random. And I'm like, okay, this is where you get off. And you know what? Just wait here and wait for the bus to come, and then get on the bus. And I'm like, okay. and I'm sitting here in the passenger seat, and he opens the door. He's like, he didn't say goodbye or anything. He didn't say nothing. Yeah, he's like,
get out, man.
Nah, he didn't say get out. He's like, all right, just get off here, and then wait for the bus to come and get on. And he packed my bag and all that stuff, and he packed me, and that was it. So the bus came, and I got on, and then the bus driver just looks at me, and then he says, hey, are you Josh? He's like, yeah, I'm Josh. Hey, you know what? Go step off for a second and then wait for the next bus to come. And I'm like, wait, what? Okay, so I said, so I got off I waited for the next bus.
Right.
And then when the next bus came, the bus driver came out. He goes, are you Josh? He's like, yeah, I'm Josh. Well, hey, I got a surprise for you. So you know how on buses there's a second door that opens on the middle of the bus, right?
Yeah.
So in the middle of the bus, when that door opened, my mom was right there. She came in right from the bus. And then the bus driver just tapped my shoulder. He's like, hey, look, your mom's just right over there. He's like, wait, what? Where's my mom? He's like, and I look over there. He's like, oh shit, that's my mom. And then I ran up to her so fucking fast. I ran up to her so fast. And I said, mom, is that you? He's like, and I started hugging her. And I started crying. Like I started, this is crazy. And my mom started crying too. He's like, and it was just to this very day. I remember this moment to this very day. It's so vividly. I can remember to this very day. And this is crazy. This to this very day, that because I can remember that so vividly, I want to become. My goal in life was to become a social media worker, and it still is. I eventually want to become a social media worker because it was just so inspiring at how the social worker, the social worker helped my mom get back on track, and it was able to create that moment for me. So it's really inspiring me. It really inspires me to see that.
Right. To get families back together.
Yeah. So everything was good. And then this is the part where my mom got together with my stepdad.
Yeah, dude, that's a whirlwind right there.
Yeah.
Because, jeez, I mean, so hold on, just question real quick before we work through whirlwind real quick.
Go ahead.
There's so many things I'm just like, damn.
I went kind of back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, this is your time, but it's just crazy. So first of all, it was interesting. Do you know now why they did it in that way? Because I mean, don't you think? I mean, me personally, like, so for instance, I would put an example. So I'm a single dad. So I have my daughter has like these really close friends, and one in particular, her name is Aliana, and that little girl I say is like my daughter as well because I take her everywhere with her if I have the chance to, because her mom is kind of not as involved as, she's there, but she's not there. You know what I mean? Like, she has to work. I know. She got a lot of kids and stuff like that. So, I try to understand everybody's point of view, and if I have it, I'm gonna give it. So I would. So I'm just saying, me personally, like that's my, like, I feel like that's also my kid. So I'm gonna, make sure everything is good. So I mean, do you know what was that whole scenario about? Just leaving you there, and was that supposed to be how it was supposed to go, or was that just? I don't know, because I don't know. I would have waited there all day until your mom came. Like that, I know. That's me personally.
I think what happened was the social media, the social workers set that up.
Oh, set it up that way. Okay.
Yeah, set it up that way. Just to surprise me. I don't know.
That's interesting because I would think that would be more like scary in the sense than. I mean, everything worked out, but I don't know. I would be scared for you. I'm not leaving now. Like, hell no.
I think the social worker just set it up in that way, just to surprise me.
Okay, all right. Well,
but it was in that moment that I was able to vividly remember that.
Right. Because I mean, I wonder, do you remember how you were feeling during the time frame of you getting out of the car with the foster kids and the foster parent, and until you met the mom? Like, were you? I mean, emotions must have been crazy.
I was just eagerly waiting for something to happen.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah.
That's it. All right.
When you're a kid, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Because, I mean, I think the reason why I say this is because my daughter's, I guess you could say emotional in the sense. So she is very, like, I don't like to be alone kind of thing. Or, things. So I'm thinking about if it was her and what she would be doing, and she'd probably be crying waiting for something to happen.
Nah, I had a feeling it was gonna be my mom coming.
Oh, but, you had a.
But because I've been wondering about my mom for a while, and then but I really didn't know if it was my mom. I just had a hunch it was.
Right.
Just a kiddie mind you have. It was kind of like is my mom gonna come or something like that?
Yeah. So all right, and then the aunt that was with your stepdad, and then how was that relationship? Is there a relationship there, or was it just like a?
Oh, I'm still cool with the other family side right now. I'm in this house I'm living right now. I'm taking care of my grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Who was the the son of my dad.
Right.
Unfortunately, he has passed away. So.
Oh wow, sorry to hear that. Your father, yeah.
Yeah,
biological dad. Let's make sure
get
that straight.
He's passed away.
Oh man.
Yeah, a man with so much money and a man $1 million, a man with so much millions of dollars just threw it all away.
Right.
I saw a man with so much money went to homeless.
Right.
Yeah, this man was literally homeless. He had no money management, and he had no sense of money management, and he eventually lost his way. And he was asking me to help him out and stuff like that. And I did try my best to help him out.
So and this is in your later years.
Yeah, this is my later years. This is like when I was like after in my 18s or 20s.
Or so this is fairly not I would say recent, but it's you knew
it's still around that time. It's around that time. Yeah, but he just couldn't take it anymore, and he eventually took his own life.
Oh shit, he did that.
Yeah,
that's rough, man. I always say that we don't know what people are going through to push them to that level.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like it is. Like I could easily say right now, like, oh no, I would never do that. I would never do that. But the circumstances haven't put me in a position to even think that way. You know what I mean? There's just one wrong turn or one wrong step or one thing just go wrong, and you never know what a person is gonna think. Yeah. It's all about circumstances. I mean, I would love to say that that's not me, because I have so much to live for. I got my family and stuff.
It's crazy because he didn't even leave his legacy behind. He didn't leave anything behind. He just did. But the one thing I learned from him was he was a man of a very unique mindset. He would learn anything that's new that would come to him, and he would try and grasp that new skill set, and he would hone it. Like he was able to he can sing, he can create, he can draw, he can paint.
Wow, he's an artist, man.
Yeah, he's an artist. Like he could do multiple things. Like he had so much skill sets. He can speak. He was able to speak 7 other languages. Wow. He could speak Vietnamese, Chinese, Mandarin, Japanese, Cambodian, Spanish, and Italian. It was crazy. I was like, "What the fuck? How do you do that?" He's like, "I just study it." I'm like, how?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Some things people, some people just have a niche.
Yeah. And that's what I really took from him when I was a kid, because at the time I was still, when I was in high school, I would still visit him from every
time to time.
Time to time. He had his own house already.
Oh wow! So wait, hold on, because I want to get a time frame for this. So when you visit him, like, what's the age group?
The age group when I was visiting him was between around 13 to 18 years old.
Okay, and then he had got a house. He was able to get him.
At this time, he was still drug dealing, so he was making around.
Okay. So he was
making around $1 million a year.
Jesus.
Yeah. So your boy had mad houses. He was already married to another wife.
Wow.
Yeah, married to another woman. So he had another baby. So I had a brother.
Wait, when you say had, like you know? They had sex. She got pregnant, and then a brother was born. When I said Adam, I mean past tense, as in he's not here anymore.
No.
Okay. I was like, damn.
She actually raised she got pregnant, and a brother. A baby was born, and they named him Adam. So he is technically my biological brother.
Right.
I have a stepbrother, but I still consider my brother. That's on the family side. My mom is with my the stepdad. They had their own child too.
Right.
So it gets all confusing because there's like 2 different family trees. It gets me fucked up, but I'm kind of used to it. So the Adam, I don't really talk to that much anymore. Okay. He would talk to me online here and there. He would watch a stream actually sometimes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he just lurks, but it's cool. The other brother, his name is Nick. We just call him Nick for now. This guy is hella introverted. It's crazy. He grew so little, and he's all grown up now. He's in college. It's crazy. This is crazy how time flies. This is crazy.
Does, yeah.
He's in college now, and he's telling me. he's telling me, yo, Josh, why is college so fucking boring? It's just me sitting here learning. It's just me sitting here listening to a prof, not even doing anything. And he's like, I told you, it's just you're just buying a piece of paper. So yeah, you're right. Right. So yeah, it's anyways, backtracking here, between the ages of 13 and 18, I was visiting my biological father. He already had his own house. He was still having his own episodes, and then eventually his episodes put his family in danger. One night, he told his wife, I'm gonna fucking burn the house down, while he was having his episode. So he actually did. He burned the house down, and apparently Adam was still a child at this time. So he was taking his nap. This was during the daytime. He was taking a nap, and he was in his room upstairs, and he was sleeping. He was passed out. The only people who were in the house was Adam's grandma, who was taking care of him at the time. If no one was home. So there was a very scary moment for grandma. So grandma immediately opened up the window in Adam's room and shouted out to the neighbor, call the police, and they did. And then grandma was really slick. She grabbed Adam and then dipped out of the house ASAP.
Wow. When you say grandma, this is your father's mother.
No, this was the wife's
mother.
Wife's mother.
Okay.
Yeah. So so she was she was pretty smart about it. And then while they got out of the house, dad was continuing to just break everything around the house. This man punched through a TV. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. He punched through a TV. He broke everything in the house, and then after he broke everything else, he burned the house down. That was crazy. Yeah. So after that, the wife couldn't handle being with me anymore. So there was a divorce. Dad became depressed, obviously, and moved to a different house. And then apparently he claimed that this house, apparently in this house I'm living right now, he claimed that he bought this house. Oh, wow. But everyone in his family is arguing that no, he didn't buy this house. We're housing him because we all chipped in to pay for this house. Okay. So I don't know who to believe, because my dad I always usually believe my dad. But it does make sense that he was being housed by the family. So he was living upstairs at the time, and he got another. His love life is very interesting. He got another girlfriend after a couple months later. He met at a club, and then that girlfriend was a gold digger. Yeah. This girl was draining his money OD. Like she would stay for like a couple months and then go to Hong Kong. This man would follow her to Hong Kong, and he bought her an apartment in Hong Kong. That shit was crazy. Like, Dad, give me that money. Give me that money. I'm a kid. Put that money into my investment and my future. He's like, and I understand. Your love life is trash, but you gotta worry about the future, man.
I want to just say two things. First of all, this is CeroBlast going into his history and stuff. And I also want to say how important, like, all of this that we're talking about, look at how important mental health is. Like, imagine he would have got the help. Well, I mean, it's not that he didn't get help. Let's not say that he didn't get help. He got a lot of help. Yeah. But look at how, look at how your mental state can make or break anything. Like, it's just that quick, and all of a sudden he's just a different person, and boom, everything is gone. In a snap of your fingers, you know what I mean? Like, in a snap of your fingers, you know how much risk he probably take to hustle and do everything and anything he had to do, and for him to take it on a whim like that is just nuts.
I know, yeah.
Damn,
it's crazy.
But all right, yeah, man, I just wanted to throw that in there because it's like, if everything is, it's just how his mental state was. It was always the mental, always something like he flipped, he was angry, it just quick, like, damn. And then people don't want to put enough money in mental health research and shit like that. That's nuts.
No, it's crazy, man. He was hospitalized consecutively. Like, he had no breaks. Like, if I was stuck in the hospital like that, I would be pent up, man. Like, I'd be pent up. Like, You're caged in. You want to do stuff, right?
Right. But damn, and then I could understand, like you said, his love life was crazy too, because I guess that was like a kind of a cry scene, like he was alone. You know what I mean? For him to always just jump from woman to woman like that.
Yeah, his love life was garbage. I'm not gonna front. It was whack. Like the last one she was with, which was the one that had they got married and stuff like that. Like he fucked it up. Like the reason why he had this episode was because he neglected his medication because he wanted to change how he was taking his medication. So he opted out to do weed, and it was working for him. And then it did, and then eventually it stopped. It just happened randomly, and because he wasn't on antidepressants anymore, it eventually got to him. Yeah,
so he was on like he was smoking weed that would be like a depressant and antidepressants, like actual pills.
I mean, I don't know if it worked for him, but then it was working for a bit and then it stopped for some reason. I don't know. It could be maybe other multiple factors, like maybe taking acid or shroom that caused it, that triggered the effect. This man was doing everything, right? So when he was off the drugs, I mean the medication, like the antidepressants and all that stuff, it just really took over, and he wasn't able to be mentally stable anymore. Right. Yeah. But yeah, I mean.
So you gotta thank God every day, man. I don't know, whoever you believe in, Umbasa, the Loas, whatever you believe in, you gotta, thank it every day, because
it's crazy because he had the mindset of thinking that, oh, I have $1 million and some extra change and more. He thought he was set for life. You're never set for life. $1 million is actually not that much if you guys believe it or not. Like it could be a milestone, but like you got to keep hustling. You got to keep making more money when you have the money, because you got to spend money to make money.
Right. Oh, about that. We're gonna get into that a little bit.
You got to spend money to make money. You gotta do your research. You gotta right. So that's pretty much my background, man. Like 2 different family sides. Childhood was trash. Inspired to be a social worker. Hopefully in the future, still wanting to do that. But I still got other goals I want to accomplish first.
Before that,
yeah, before that, and that's the rundown, man.
I want to say much props to you when we move on. For going what you're doing, because a lot sometimes that could break someone. Like you could have been broken at that age and never really recover. It happens.
Oh hell yeah, definitely.
It happens to a lot of kids. Or a lot of kids. I talk a lot about, a lot of the times when I do these interviews or when I talk, a lot of kids don't grow up and have accountability for what they do. They always want to blame, oh, well, damn, my childhood was this and this and this and this. But at least I can see, you look back and say, okay, well, this gave me this. You know what I'm saying? This gave me this, that I could do this, instead of always trashing what happened, you look back at it, okay, well, things happened. I understand why things might have happened certain ways. Okay, what can I do to make things better for myself? Or what have I learned that'll strengthen me that they didn't do that I could do differently? Like, just not making excuses. There's a lot of excuse making all the time, dude. And, it's good that, you're one of those, few people that can say, yo, I might have had a shitty childhood, but that doesn't have to define me in a negative way as I'm getting older. I could turn these things into a positive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like if you were ever abused physically from your parents, when you were a child, obviously when you have your own family, you want to take that experience and because you experienced it first time. You don't want to do that to your own child, right? Yeah, of course. Right. The success to the key to success is experiencing things. Right. If you don't have experience, you're never going to get anywhere.
Exactly.
Right. That's why you see all these top players winning all the time.
What
That's why you see top players winning all the time.
Oh, right.
They got